Hello my fellow styrene craftsmen, Brett here, high altitude scale models. Today I'm going to do a quick little sprue review of the IAI Kfir C2 C7. This is what I'm going to be building for the International Scale Model Forum IDF group build, or IAF, whichever way you're looking at it, depending on what you're building. I think this is, I've never built an AMK kit before, so I'm going to give this a try. It's got two schemes. It's got the gray scheme. It's got the three-tone beautiful Israeli camo scheme. And there's the same gray scheme on the other side. 48 scale, kit number 88001. As you can see, this has been in the stash for a while. The box isn't in perfect shape. It says it's a true replica of the Kfir, ready to build, detailed cockpit, landing gear, decal versions for two schemes, full range of external stores and weapons, the Python, 3 AAM, the Griffin, LGB, 3 fuel tanks, sort of kind of weapons pylons. So, let's see what we got here. Alright. Directions. Sprue of weapons, several sprues of weapons, fuselage wings, and decals. So, let's start with the big one. Resealable bags. This bag has two sprues in it. One is the fuselage, and one is bits. Never built a Mirage, which is what this started out as and became a Kfir. It's also an F-22, I believe, or F-21. The Marines bought. I got one of those kits somewhere too. Nicely recessed panel lines, good rivet detail. No sink marks, no flash. As you can see from all around, you can see the beautiful rivet detail. My light's gone a little wacky, so it's kind of dark. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. You can see the rivet detail in some of those panels. The panel line details. Your intakes stop right there, so you're not going to have deep intakes. A little bit of detail on the inside of the fuselage for the cockpit. Alright, nice plastic, good and hard. Looks to be well molded. Next sprue that was in the same bag. Fuel tanks, intakes. Excuse me. Jet nozzle. These look like the sidewalls for the landing gear bays. And the top for the landing gear bay. These look like the tops of the landing gear, the main landing gear bay. Bulkhead for the cockpit. Sidewalls for the cockpit. Sorry for that little bit of noise. My mat moved. Good small parts under the canopy or the windscreen of the cockpit. Detailing on both sides. Here's the cockpit tub with some fine detailed sidewalls. I'll probably buy the Edward set if there is one for this. But there's no ejector pin marks in places where they shouldn't be, because these are the main landing gear bay doors. And then the detail inside is really nice. Maybe the light would be better if I just zoomed in like this, huh? There we go. Detail. Like I said, these have ejector pin marks, but I think these are the tops of the main gear bay doors, so they're going to sit flush. That's the parts you'll see. The main cockpit tub. A little bit of detail there. I think if we can liven up with some Edward photo etch. One-piece pylons here and here. These are the main wheel landing gear struts. I don't see a burr line. Oops, sorry, we use canopy so zoomed in. There's no burr line or seam line or anything on those. Little tiny parts. I'm not sure what they're for at this time. Like I said, I think these are the intakes or they're the back of the tail. Find out when I look at directions. First stage compressor blade. Very nice. So yeah, I think it's got some really good detail all around. Next, we're going to take a look at the wings. This bag has 2 sprues in it. This is a delta winged aircraft. And this, the bottom of the wing, very nicely detailed. Ejector pins here might need a little sand down. They're sticking up a little bit, but nothing awful. Same with all these. I just sand them down to be safe. Got the flap detail there, so you can't have adjustable flaps or ailerons. Zoom into this one so you can see the fine detail. Very nice panel line detail. Not a lot of rivet detail. I'm not sure if there should be, but there is rivet detail right through here, as you can see. So we'll check that out. Main landing gear. I'm thinking this is either, it's got to be a speed brake. And then up there, nice venting detail. And we've got the top of the wings, the canards, more pylons. So the top of the wings, very finely detailed. You can see some rivet detail inside those panels. I'm thinking this is probably the tail section here. Then the canards, which, get back in the light. There you go. That's why I zoomed in the camera so you could have light. They're one piece. You got landing gear door detail here. Well, landing gear well detail. This is going to go top landing gears. One piece pylons. Instrument panel. Nice little bit of detail. Not awful. I'm sure there's decals for it. So these must be the intakes. And if you look at the intakes there, this is the front. This first section here does not have any ejector pin marks, but there is here and here, which you probably won't be able to see once it's together. But cleaning it up couldn't hurt. Oh, I'm wrong. You see right here and here, there are 2 little ejector pin marks that are going to need some sanding on both of them. And I don't think those belong there. I'll check for sure, check my references, but I think those, yeah, because the flash part just comes right off. When you're digging with your fingernail, the flash part just comes off. So you will need to clean up those intakes. And this goes on the bottom, so I'm guessing that's the speed brake like we first thought. And in the open position, if you can leave it open, there's many ejector pin marks. If I'm going to film with this close-up, I'm going to have to learn how to do this. But you can see lots of ejector pin marks on the inside of that speed brake if you're going to do it open. And here we've got ejector seats, wheels, pylons. Let's start with the ejector seats. This is a single seat aircraft. single seat aircraft. Got 2 ejector seats and they do look different. You can see this one's got handles on there, this one doesn't. So I'm guessing because there's 2 different versions, there's 2 different types of ejector seats. But the detail's nice. There's no seat belt detail. This one's got the pull handles. This one doesn't have those pull handles. Headrest, it's got 1 pull handle probably between the legs like that one. So nice little detail for ejector seats. And we've got 2 matching sprues here, which looks like half part of the engine, another pylon, and then to hold the weapons on, and the wheels. These wheels aren't flat spotted. The hub is one piece, but the wheels are in halves. And inside the engine there is some good detail and no ejector pin marks. Except, of course, after I say that, I find one right here on the end. So depending on which end it's on, you may or may not have to worry about it. Okay, those are matching. And then 2 more matching. This is 2 fuel tanks. And as we saw, there was a fuel tank on one of the other sprues. Nice raised and recessed detail, especially, I'm guessing that's where they put the fuel in. Should go together nicely. Alright, and this looks like the sprues of weapons. So, we've got 2 of these. Don't ask me what they are, because I do not know my Israeli weapons. But they are 1-piece weapons. And then you just put the fins on. I don't see any burring. Actually, there is a mold line right here on both of them. I don't know how well it'll pick it up, but there's a mold line on them. Easy to clean up though. And another set of matching sprues, which looks like laser guided bomb, 2 of them, so there's 4 total. They come in halves. Some nice rivet detail on those as well. AMK seems to have some good detail in their kits. And 2 more matching sprues, and these are the bombs. There are 6 bombs in total and multiple ejector racks, which come in 2 halves. And there's the racks, looking pretty good. So all in all, very clean, very nice plastic. Doesn't look too overly complicated. Seems like it's going to be a pretty good build. Heard so many good things about the AMK MiG 31, is it? Or 25? I don't remember, it's over there in a pile somewhere. But I've heard good things about it. Clear parts. There is no seam line. There's also no real raised framing detail there, but there's no seam line. And they look clear. They look very clear and no seam line. It's a plus, there's no seam line, but it's a minus that the section between the glass isn't really raised much, so you have to buy some Edward masks or be very careful. And of course lights and other parts. Put those back in the bag. Don't want to get them all scuffed up. Alright, instructions. Zoom back out. There you go. Great box art. back. A little line drawing of it. So, a little about the aircraft. Kfir is Hebrew for lion cub, it says. I'll let you look at that, and you can freeze if you want. Then we got color callouts. It's got FS numbers. It doesn't say what paints are being used, but it does have circles by it. So I'm thinking it's guns, hobby color, hobby Mr. Color. Because those numbers, especially 137 tire black, look familiar. Start with the instrument panel. You have two different versions, depending on if you're doing the C2 version or C7 version, so you have to decide right off the bat which one you're doing. Putting that together, put the front landing gear bay underneath of it. Alright. Fuselage has to go together with the cockpit in the middle. You paint that inside of the jet exhaust. Then you work on wings. Open holes for various versions, so make sure you know which version you're building to open the holes with. Also the gear bay. Wing halves together, painting the inside of the wheelbase. Wings onto the fuselage, intakes onto the fuselage. So these were the jet intake parts for there, and then they've got the covers on there. And then the canards. Then some little bits and bobs. And the doors for the gear. And fortunately, you don't have to put the landing gear on until after it's all done, so you can paint it first, but then you put the main gear on, you assemble the main gear, put it on, assemble the front gear, put it on, put in the nose cone, which you put together right here. So that part wasn't the tail, it was the nose. And then some of the other little parts. Pave penny laser designator. There you go. I love it when they tell me what's what. Jet engine. Going to slide inside. It's not very detailed outside, but it does have some good inside. Some more parts on the fuselage. Then you start putting pylons on, depending on the version you want. Then you choose which ejector seat, depending on which version you want. This is the C2 with the canopy and the ejector seat. This is the C7 with the ejector seat and canopy. So you have to decide which one. And then we've got weapons. Pythons, which were the first ones we looked at. Tier racks, which is triple ejector racks. Mark 82 bombs. Wing pylon with a tier rack on it. Shows how to put the bombs on it. And then this is the Napgatch, which of course is multiple ejector rack, centerline bomb pylon. And the Griffin missile, or the Griffin bomb. And the centerline supersonic tank. And the wing subsonic fuel tanks. And color guide for the weapons. And weapons callouts. How to load her up. C2 or C7. So there's a really nice gray and white scheme. Wouldn't hurt to do that one. Not gray and white, but gray. And the traditional Israeli scheme that we all love. Browns, pale greens, or duck egg blue, depending on who you talk to. This one says you've got to mix 312 and 314 to get that color, but there's many people now making that color. Nice decal scheme. And then stencils. Israeli aircraft are loaded with stencils. This has got numbers up to, well, the numbers don't go too high, but there's multiple 67s, multiple 80, 81, 83. Lots of stencils. Alright, here are the decals, which those stencils will be part of. And there's some tiny little stencils in there. It doesn't say made by Cartograph, just says AMK on there. me roll up onto the sidewalk and take a look. Not too shiny. They're kind of glossy, but not the worst I've seen. Very cut close, as you can probably see. Cut very close. Tiny little stencils. It's all in Hebrew, so I couldn't read it even. I mean, if I knew Hebrew, I could read it. But very good looking decals. Be interesting to see how well they come off, which we will when we're doing the build. And let's slip these back in here so they don't get hurt. And that's about it for this kit. This is my entry into the IDF group build for the ISM forum. Beautiful box art. I think it's going to go together well. It's an AMK kit, but I won't know until I start constructing it. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and get ready for the build. It'll be starting July 1st, a week from tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, don't be a kit collector. Be a kit builder. Go out and finish a build or start a build today. Bring your kids into it. Just have some fun. Model making is such a good stress reliever. Thanks for watching.